even the respect potentially for this Invoker flex, the good old Rogi Invoker. Have you seen them play it as a supporter?
I have not.
Yeah, okay.
I have not seen the POS 5 Invoker yet.
Yeah. Intrigued by it. I didn't get to see as many games from it to roll into Bloodseeker.
Team pick.
Grimstroke.
But doesn't. I thought the Rupture matchup just obliterates Troll.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good. Essentially forces him to just stand there in place. I mean, I can understand it if they now pick their remaining heroes, which is entirely focused on like team fight control. You know, maybe a Mars or something like that is what they want to pick up next for Neon. Just lock them in place so you don't get the effectiveness out of the shapeshift until you pick up a BKB on both him and the Bloodseeker. Like, you could be moving as fast as you want, but if you're just stuck inside the walls with a Pango rolling around, bouncing around on top of you, it's just going to make your life even more difficult. And then speaking of the Grimstroke, we've got another counter to the Pangolier on top of that. So it's going to make his life a little difficult. Hell, even it's like a pseudo counter to the Troll, right?
Yep.
Because
Radiant team
if he gets locked in onto someone, you get the Phantom's Embrace onto him, and you can look to Manfight, right? Because then he needs to make the choice of, right, do I continue and try and get the lifesteal just from whatever my items are to keep me sustainable, or do I actually focus the Ghost down, get rid of my fervor stacks to have the chance of going into that battle trance? And they do go the Mars, right? Like, it makes complete sense.
It's also a very strong hero versus the Lycan too. You can help deal with the wolves, and once he does use the shapeshift, just enclose him in a close proximity where he can't use, of course, the movement speed to his advantage. So we'll see for Neon how their team fight can come into play. It really is revolved around a close quarters fight. Otherwise, if they get split up in an area where SMG can really utilize the Soulbind, Lycan has full roam of that fight, the Bloodseeker Rupture as well, where they can just kite them, then Neon are really, really going to struggle. But they have...
What do you think about Neon's choice to put like their position 4 as their last pick a couple of games in a row? We're assuming, right? Like, we're assuming the Lena's mid,
so
and it was Skywrath last time.
I don't hate it because they're playing with the flexibility of the Lena. Like, that's the thing they're going for. You couldn't really... You see the matchup already, though, with the Void Spirit. Like, this hero's going mid. So, and Lena's got a pretty good matchup versus Void Spirit. So, I mean, Lena... I really cannot think, like, many heroes that beat Lena. It's pretty much just a handful that will trade maybe 50-50 at best. She's incredible Lena. So, like, leaving this till last... It's interesting. You see, like, SMG, they're not worried about it. They banned the Phoenix, they banned the Mirana, both strong combos with the Mars, looking to get rid of a little bit of team fight. Neon might just look to really overload their roster with full team fight, so I like that Phoenix ban heavily from SMG.
10 seconds.
Yeah, the way you beat Lena is not one-on-one. It's by having someone else rotate through and try and dominate in that way. So once Lycan gets a few levels, a few more points in to his regen, Feral Impulse, I think it is, it means that you can have, let's say, the Grimstroke rotate through, pop the Inkswell in onto the Void Spirit, have him jump in onto the Lena, and try and get a kill in that way.
All right, so we're looking for... Do you want this a 5 or a 4? Do you, like, for the Grimstroke? Would he rather be playing with the Lycan?
Radiant team pick.
We got
Monkey King. Okay, Monkey King coming out. I mean, that's a good rotator as well, right? Although it could be a position 1. Who knows what's going on with SMG and how they're trying to...
Don't be a Bloodseeker support. Don't do it.
I was thinking it super early on just because of the way that they try and give Arfu these greedier types of heroes, but...
I think it's more than likely the Monkey 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
Choose your hero.
I mean, Storm Spirit does kind of beat the Void Spirit as well. It's like, it's Makoto's bread and butter. Like, the amount of times that he has straight up carried his team.
Oh, the Bloodseeker.
The 5 Bloodseeker. So what's your prediction?
Oh my lord. I mean, okay, so Bloodseeker played as a support in QH. Now, it was definitely not a team of SMG's caliber, but they made it look atrocious, and I don't know if it's going to be any better. Maybe, I mean...
Let's think the lane that it's into as well. He's playing it into a Mars Lena. 2 stuns on a melee support.
Yeah, that's very true. Okay, well, Rupture's great this game nonetheless. So it doesn't matter. Rupture's going to be exceptional versus the Troll, versus the Pango, even though it's a position 5 Pango. Blood Rage, I mean, amplifies your attack speed. Mid one's going to love that. Spell Amp as well for Moon, who is going to have a pretty decent game. Like, there's not the easiest way to lock him in. It's not a great lane versus Mikoto at all. So maybe Storm can get an early Orchid. Speaking about the Storm, though, this is a pretty free Storm game, though.
Yeah, I wonder what item he goes as well on this support Bloodseeker. Maybe like an Atos isn't super bad. Just because it's against a Storm Spirit, it allows you to, you know, catch people inside. Like, Yule Scepter's great, right? But you're never going to catch out a Storm Spirit with a Yule Scepter. I feel like you need something like an Atos to force a super early BKB out of him.
All right, well, how are we feeling about the second game here? Do you feel like Neon have the lineup where they can tie up the series against SMG, or do you think this is going to go a 2-0 in favor of Dire?
Oh, I feel like... Let me just have a think about their last lane. The 4-5-8 and Zhao laning into a Grimstroke and a Lycan. I think they've got what it takes to be able to pull it off. Like, Zhao's gonna hate his life, basically, because he's going against this Grimstroke and the Bloodseeker. But I feel like they've got enough control, right, just with the Mars to be able to hedge their bets against that kind of play. Look at them, they're all grouping around this this high ground here. Zhao's going to be able to look to go for the D ward. He'll get it off.
30 seconds to battle.
Yeah, I reckon Neon. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm a favor Neon.
Even with the 4-5-8 troll against the Bloodseeker as well?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you have... Man, it's Mikoto Storm Spirit. Like, we've seen...
Mikoto Storm Spirit, and that offlane duo is incredibly strong against a support Bloodseeker.
Like, we have seen Mikoto on his old roster completely take over games, and it's just... Like, you just sit there and watch, and you're like, my god, what is going on? Like, how is he doing this every single time? So, like, you are now... I mean, Moon on the Void Spirit... Like, these matchups are so interesting. Like, the lane Void Spirit versus, like, Ember and Storm are not the greatest, but as the game goes on, you do provide a lot of control. Like, if Moon wants to go yours, it's an instant way to find that initial stun, maybe follow up into the Ink Swell, which is very strong combo with the Void. He's more than likely going to go Aghanims too, which is further control, but maybe that's where Mikoto can really use this lane to his advantage, because it's a strong lane. You know, Storm versus Void Spirit, he should be able to win it. Maybe an early Orchid, he can get a couple kills, transition that to an early BKB, then he's going to be hard to kill.
I haven't seen KP play Lycan too much. I know it's obviously a hero that they do like to flex between the position 1 and 3, but you know, he is a micro fiend. Obviously, Beastmaster, one of his most preferred heroes, Broodmaster as well. So we'll see what he's able to do on it. But they do have a lot of good ways to shove out these lanes, right? So it's not like they're lacking in that regard. We were casting a game yesterday when a Lycan was picked 3rd. I was like, game's over. Lycan's going to win them the game, and it did. You know, there are some drafts that you just cannot play against a Lycan.
Yeah. Took him a while. Did take him a while. That was also SMG versing the Lycan as well in that game, and we saw mid one, he was playing the Troll Wallet. He also opted into the Aghanims build, so it was a very different draft as well. Lycan was paired with a bunch of extra physical damage, so you know, the Ags on the Troll felt like an interesting build for him to go into. I don't believe we'll see that from 458, but it's a cool choice.
It's not horrible, right? Like, the defensive Dispel, not so much, but the offensive Dispel is quite nice this game. Against the Ink Swell, against the Jingu, against the Resonant Pulse.
That's very true, yeah. I do think you got buffed up as well. I mean, with how much you spam it, the 75 damage to 90 on the Whirling Axes, I mean, it's definitely going to be something to keep in mind. That is just the range axes, of course, but... So... This top lane, you were saying that you feel like the double stun is going to be too much almost for Dire to deal with. Will it get to a stage where maybe SMG can combat that, like levels-wise, or maybe some early items?
Have a look at this. They're diving a little bit here onto Hustler. They've given up first blood in the meantime. Is Hustler going to go for the courier even? No,
he didn't cut through.
2 mines here.
His mid one still got the Boundless. Primal's still on cooldown.
Light strike array.
Oh, nice dodge from mid one. We get the slow, and it should be able to find the killer. So another solid lane here for mid one. Yeah, we saw it in game one. He had a really strong Monkey King performance, and looks like at the moment is off to a similar start. Meanwhile, of course, we did see the first blood down bot. It was 458 finding the kill onto the... Who did he get it on?
Grimstroke.
Grimstroke? Okay.
But, I mean, mid one spent a long time trying to kill Hustler there. So... he lost a bunch of experience. He gained it back. I think he was made sure to Rogi that he was like, get the hell away from me. I need this solo experience. But, you know, it was a good 30 seconds or so. And so Xiao Yu was able to remove a lot of the creeps there from the equation.
See...
A few of the light strike arrays on Hustler, though, so far. But Makoto, he's doing kind of as we expected in that mid lane. He's been able to bully out... Moon a little bit here. He's a little bit ahead in terms of the experience, and you know, just has a lot more capability to take some of these small stacks really early on.
Do you feel like Moon might be able to turn the tide with potential rotations to the side lanes, depending on maybe some runes?
Maybe. I mean, a Bloodseeker's not going to do anything.
Yep.
But, oh, top side. Hustler, is he going to get caught inside? No, he's not. So he's able to avoid the blood, right? But what's this going to mean in response? Are they going to be able to kill Rogi here? A couple of seconds until the spear. But Grimstroke, like, I don't know. Like I said, the way that you win a lane against a lean, probably against this Storm Spirit as well, is by having any kind of rotations coming through from your position 4. And Afu, like, he wants to be stacking, he wants to be putting pressure onto 458, and now especially with the Inkswell, considering the buff duration is Hustler's dead again. Or maybe not.
Try and salve up, but mid one can get the vision to make sure there's no potential juke opportunity. And he also finds a Jingu stacks off the Mars, so there's really no opportunity for them to maybe turn them back around with Xiao Yu's damage to force him away. So this lane's going a lot better than I was expecting on SMG. Kind of, it feels like Radiant aren't putting all their attention onto one solo hero, as mid lane Makoto's got the help of Xiao, level 6. A little bit hesitant right now on who they want to jump.
They're able to clean up a stack there, which Moon made for himself, so Makoto just continues to get rich. But yeah, like, I'm a little surprised as well at the top side. I think Hustler's missed a fair few of those light strike arrays, which is a big factor. You just wish another one. Sometimes it's about the threat of them hitting, you know? It's the fear factor.
Yeah, I keep, like, edging back over the top to see how that's going. And I just see them missing spear after spear,
KP's
LSA,
in a little bit of trouble here.
KP. Turn it back around. The Wolves with the Inkswell is incredible combo, and just gonna set it up for the Stroke of Fate. Don't believe they'll get Jet and well, but it's a great kill to pick up here. See this
continuing to stamp their authority, even forcing Makoto to walk all the way back. It means that he misses out on that bounty rune. He's gonna do his best to shove the lane out, but not going to be able to claim any of these runes. The arcane rune would have been super nice for him, just to try and make plays.
What you came for.
It has to be said that I feel like the lanes for SMG are going a lot better than what we were expecting. I mean, Moon's higher net worth than Makoto. Monkey King's 600 net worth ahead of Mars. Like, on paper, melee matchup, Monkey King really favored, but double stun versus like a Bloodseeker. What can he really do in the lane? But Radiant feels like they didn't play it to the potential where they could have, and Makoto mid's going to be careful, but he'll zip out to safety.
Yeah, the fact that Rogi hasn't died yet is a little baffling to me. I feel like it's a massive missed opportunity.
Bottom lane though.
Onto the trolls.
They cancelled the TP actually at mid one, so 458 can stand his ground. Doesn't have a point available in the ultimate.
No battle trend.
KP though just picks up the Helm Dome, so playing around with this extra creep potential. Now Genuel is going to get chased down and bidden down as well as Lycan picks up a double.
Well, we were talking about that clock. I feel like the time has been pushed forward a fair amount as well, considering how well this lane has gone, particularly for KP. already looking to build into that Vlad's. All he needs is the Quelling Blade, not even wanting any other kind of item. He realizes how effective it's going to be against these heroes that they look to pick up. But what do we got here on Roger? Like, what's he looking to build into it?
Mid one. All right, they'll catch him out top. We saw the cutting down the trees was kind of the bane for him in game one, and Makoto Storm is kind of continuing that trend as well. Zip zap forward and bring him down. Real first big kill that they've got him in quite a while here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They're going to trade, which against a Lycan lineup, you're always fairly happy if you're able to, you know, get equivalent control over the map. And they could have potentially seen, if they had their eyes towards the bottom, that Moon doesn't have a TP. So it's going to take a while for it to make its way out to him, just so that he can look to rejoin the rest of his lineup. Even with a career, it's not even got one. It's just got the Void Stone.
Dire even glyphed up bot. They want to play really aggressive right now, trying to force some rotations. Moon's got to be cautious, but Xiaoyu misses on the arena. A Fob stance is going to prevent the spear, but with Moon out of any resources, they will still secure the kill. It costs them a lot here. Well, the emphasis they put on their rotations.
They're able to defend though, right? It's against the Lycan, so it's always something that you want to do, but probably not wanting to commit 4 heroes for the fact.
Alright, so I'm still intrigued. What do we feel like Roger's going to go for? You said the ATOS. You still feel like this is going to be the route here for the Bloodseeker?
I mean, he might go into an urn or something like that, just to be able to get it onto... It's not even that often that you're going to be able to get it onto the Mars, right? To interrupt the Blink Dagger. I still think ATOS. Yeah. It's good value.
The caught out. It's going to be the Pango.
Or the spear.
If he can get the shield crash, it's level 3. A lot of damage mitigation. He'll turn to Rogi. But Makoto's lacking the mana at the moment. Same with Xiaoyu. So they don't have the damage left in the tank.
Here.
And now with KP on the assault, he can wrap on the backline, cut off the retreat here from Makoto. Pair that up with mid one as well, getting active early. They really want to try and put their stamp on the early game. And they're going to do just that. 2 will fall from Neon. They'll make it a third as well, deep underneath the tier 2 tower, and SMG running a rampant in this second game.
Like it putting in so much work. KP just joining at the right time every single time, using that ultimate to be able to clean up 3 separate kills, and there's only so much that someone like Makoto could do, unfortunately, as Hustler misses another light strike array.
Mid one is the amount of times his dodge spear and LSAs
458.
And now 458's just going to move in forward. Sans, he still doesn't have a point in the ultimate. Wow, great arena from Xiaoyu, but where's the damage for? It's finally going to come through from Makoto. Xiaoyu has the ultimate as well, but again, dude, mid one is just continuously sidestepping everyone. But it looks like now with the Wukong's on cooldown, they can finally collapse and deal with the Monkey King. But Moon's still stuck around. He's got an Arcane in the arsenal. He's taking so much damage, though. He gets him a distance away from the side of Neon, but he's still got to be cautious of his own positioning. The stun's just not connecting continuously for Neon, resulting in a lot of missed kills.
A lot of missed kills and a lot of tower control going more and more the way of SMG. How has Rogi not died yet this game? Yeah. I'm stunned. Like, he has boots and a ring. That's about it.
We feeling the impact of a position 5 Bloodseeker, or do you feel like now it's like, now with level 6, that's where they were hoping for?
I mean, of course they were hoping for that, but yeah, again, the fact that the double stun lane wasn't able to impact it and punish it is, I mean, that's the big thing with SMG, right? They like to go for these greedy builds that if it works out, it looks amazing, but if you just look to address it, then it can look a little bit silly. And, you know, oftentimes you see the big criticism that a lot of people give to them is, you know, they're just playing their draft. Rogi will maybe die the first time. But, you know, we often say, like, okay, they're not respecting the enemy team, what they're capable of doing. But, you know, if they don't respond to what you're doing that's super greedy, then, you know, probably don't need that respect.
Xiaoyu might have dropped the arena super defensively. They will not give him an opportunity. Radiant with their smoke won't result in anything unless mid one shows down bottom, but they're already looking to try and connect with the Monkey King. Radiant have to make a decision super fast. Hustle looks like his decision might be made for himself if they can scout him out. And they can. The smoke popping just in time to cancel the TP, but it's all SMG's game here.
Yeah, they got the slightest glimpse of him TPing, allowing mid one to land that
gonna
boundless
defend
strike.
bot, actually. Charging up on top of mid one. There's a lot of bursts coming through from Makoto. And mid one will get no opportunity for the Wukongs. Don't get anything more out of it, though. Looks like Grimstroke's the target. Arena drop. They're just playing on the outskirts right now from SMG. Maybe waiting for an opportunity to go back in once the arena expires. They do need the connection of all their heroes, but they recognize with the numbers disadvantage, they're happy to just cut their losses.
Now, 13 minutes. KP's finished up his full Vlads as well, so only the recipe component away from finishing up that Helm of the Overlord. So, obviously having a very fun game so far, only about 1250 gold away.
Oh, 458. No, no, no. Again, trying to farm too aggressively. Commit the Wukongs, maybe a little bit unnecessary. But nonetheless, bring him down. KP's now the center of attention for the side of Neon. A long zip in. The damage is going to flow through once Hustler can get involved. Doesn't even need Delina. It's all Januel and Makoto.
It's about sending a message, you know, with that Wukongs. It's not always about the damage.
Yes.
It's also saying, you can't come to this top side of the map, and then it forces him to play bottom side a little bit more defensively, and it just allows them to obviously take a little bit more of that control.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Level 12, picks up the Kaya. Again, it's just going to be so onto him to make a lot of these big plays for the team.
Yeah, like, how do you feel about Makoto's performance overall? I mean, he's 6-1-3 at the moment. Is he doing everything we'd be hoping of him?
458. Imagine dying here.
At least gets the ultimate off. They don't have the rupture this time, but he's just not able to lock onto anyone, so the lifesteal's lacking. The reinforcements will come through. Now with the artillery damage, they'll focus down mid one again. Can they kill him off just yet? The Jingu stacks, is it enough to be able to keep the life? Mid one somehow not dead just yet. But Makoto now, they'll turn back. Moon will blow him up with the Dissimulate, and Neon will also lose Januel. I don't know how mid one held the life, but for SMG, finding
just stopped hitting him. That's what happened. You know, he was thinking that, okay, maybe the splash from the Overload when I'm trying to get more damage out, considering how much I'm needing to do this game, might have been able to take him down, but instead means that mid one continues to live easily. Top of the net worth now, and well, they're just going to look to go into Roche. Again, he's gone this Desolator build, and continue to take down the threat of this Roche, with the Howl being used to reduce the armor even further. It's looking pretty damn deadly, considering how aggressive they're going to be able to go. Clock keeps ticking.
And this is so close to KP's item timing as well with the Helm of the Overlord. So it's, like you were saying, clock keeps ticking, and it feels like for Neon, I mean, just those past couple of deaths for 458 has completely shut down the troll.
I am immortal.
I mean, they've been drafting mid one Monkey a hell of an amount recently, these past couple of days, and we saw it a lot through I-League. You know, Asta in particular were having incredible amounts of success, and looks like SMG as well. They're gonna try and mount the defense around their triangle. Still, the damage isn't there to the last second, but it's a heavy commitment, and with how long it took for them to clean off Rogi, Januel ruptured, held him in place, and even Hustler almost dying as well. It's just feels like Radiant are just not really executing their spells. Like, it's taking them a lot longer to find their kills than what it should be, and it's meaning they have to stay too long, and it's you know, forcing a lot of deaths.
I mean, it's the result of the laning stage not going as well as, you know, you previously thought, right? Like, it's a position 5 Bloodseeker that's still been able to get a phase boots, a Windlace, a Ring of Protection, and a full magic wand. Like, lots of little items that give a ton of utility. So it means that, you know, this Mars has been
Makoto? They have the chain lockdown. Mid one needs to TP just in time. It's a long TP, but Moon with the help of the DD. They don't even need mid one. And this is the issue. You can get to a stage where the Void Spirit, on paper, not the best lane versus Storm, but as the game goes on, you can very much deal with him.
Absolutely, you can make a ton of plays, especially like with the Storm Spirit. You don't want to be getting this BKB super early on.
Now 458 as well. He's going to be caught out once again. Another kill on the Troll Warlord. It's just his farming patterns this game is costing them. Januel is just going to bleed to his death. And oh, Neon.
He was ruptured, and then he just kept rolling and used his TP scroll. What is going on? This is not the Neon that I was expecting to see.
SMG, I mean, they're definitely the ones that are forcing the mistakes here. It has to be said with how aggressive they're playing, and Neon just haven't come to the table with what we were hoping here. Mid ones.
Even just, you know, I was talking about with the Ancient Black Dragon before. Well, Ancient Granite Golem is just as good, right? When you're having already trouble getting a lot of this damage out onto the lineup, just give him an extra 15% HP, why don't you? With that mid one, he's going to be able to pick up his BKB as well. So Aegis, BKB, Desolator, Helm of the Overlord. It just seems like the same story every single time with SMG, you know? Mid one has an amazing game. The draft is built around him. And, I mean, why not if he's able to execute like this?
Makoto. Ooh, Makoto!
He's dead.
Alright, initial catch. No escape now. That's all you need. One catch on a storm. Tips are out. Double tip him up as well. We saw game one, Moon Makoto were going back and forth with their tips, and looks like SMG, they might have the last laugh in regards to the entire series.
I mean, yeah, like they've got this Lycan lineup where they're trying to make plays with Lycan Wolf there, getting the Inkswell onto him, trying to disrupt the Blink Dagger on the Mars. Will they be able to pick out anyone here? Nope, they get the setup on the Mars instead.
Soulbind leashed up, no escape. I'm making to drop the arena, try and play with the bulwark, but this has been a masterclass to say the least from SMG. They lose no one with that siege from the bottom side, and KP, they even know exactly where 458 is farming in the area as well, and another Troll Warlord death, it feels like. It's been 7 too many, to say the least. I mean, you'll lose the Grimstroke across the map, but 458 has no assistance. Mid one team has just got a taunt in his face, man. This just so in the wounds.
It's it feels a little bit dirty here, some of the stuff that they're trying to do, but and they're just punishing a lot of even just the small misplays, right? Like you're against the Lycan lineup. They've hit a pretty good Helm of the Overlord timing. You've got the Aegis and you've got the Desolator on the Monkey King. And even though they've just spent what feels like the past four or so minutes down on the bottom side of the map, the people that weren't defending were just farming around the triangle area. So they're not even like trying to push some of the other lanes back, try and force some kind of defense out of them. They're just farming in probably the safest, what they feel is the safest spot on the map. But I mean, they had complete vision on SMG. Look at the wards. It's around these sorts of areas that, you know, they can just feel confident to continue pushing forward.
One last stand. Smoke up on Neon. They're going to look to start. As soon as the Aegis ticks out, they get the speed connection. Meanwhile, Moon on the backline is going to try and disrupt them to enable mid one to get the BKB off if need be. But like you said, so little damage. As soon as they jump, they're instantly evaporating from the area. No escape from Januel. This is the target of the rupture.
Makoto, like he's standing over here to the right side, trying to get something done this game, but it feels like he doesn't have any kind of help to do so. He used all of his mana just for a single vortex.
Put me out.
Well, SMG, this looks like a siege that will not be disrupted. You can try and focus on Rogi, but as soon as the Soulbind's out, leashing both of them together, now got to reposition yourself further deep behind the tier 4 tower, but Wukong's command with a double silence might not give them the opportunity. Now 458, he's brought down mid one. Maybe they've compromised their positioning. Well, the Astral Step still on cooldown, but KP now looking to get involved. They can target through Moon. Makoto still got a decent amount of mana to play with. They'll get rid of the backline Grimstroke. Even refueling the bottle as well with the bounty. So SMG giving some hope for Neon.
Alright, well, they weren't able to take the second lane of Rax. It pushes them back a little bit, and again, it's Makoto dealing a huge portion of the damage in that team fight. Dealing nearly 2,000. Mars doing his fair share as well, but you know, once again, it just doesn't feel like the supports are having anywhere near the same impact right now on Neon compared to SMG, right? Every single time that Rolling Thunder's been used, Rupture just immediately used onto him. So, you know, all of that teamfight control is gone. Put so much more pressure on Xiaoyu. He's been hitting some alright arenas and spears. But I just don't think you can do it on your own.
Oh, quick TP! Oh! Alright, he'll make it. Hustler won't be as fortunate.
My favorite.
That's 8 deaths on Hustler.
He's looking to try and make it. Okay, he is really trying to make look 458 not look as bad in the deaths.
I don't know if you can walk back here, 458.
They
pretty ballsy move.
His TP's on court. Oh, alright, let's add it up to 9 now for 458. Is most deaths, I believe, throughout the entirety of the game. That is not what you're hoping for.
I mean, it's another one of those instances, right, where, like, he's died a lot, but he's died in areas that they can immediately then convert into something else. Like, it was Roshan a few times, like, one of the times. It was,
so close.
It was mid tower, another one. It was bot tower, another time on top of that. And you can see why he wanted to farm. He's so close to picking up that BKB, but why not do it on the top side of the map, you know? At least if they come and gank you, they can't immediately take racks afterwards. Might be forced to sell like his Quelling Blade or something like that, just so that he can afford it for this defense.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
He's very poor troll warlord. Does the BKB change much?
No. Honestly, no. Like, maybe now that Moon has the Aghanim Scepter, you know, they might be relying on him to be able to get the silence off so that they can burst him down 100 to 0. So, provided that he doesn't reveal the fact that he has it,
Radiant
would have a little bit of a surprise.
Come out the base. Can they pop the tree, then burst through mid one? They might be able to do so successfully. Mid one is down. No, unable to rejoin the team fight, but who do they want to target next as Makoto's in trouble? A zip to safety, 458, trying to target down Moon, but he's got no extra assistance. The control's not there, and KB can just run himself to safety, or the LSA on the outskirts. They're in trouble. A Laguna Blade's enough to cut through. So Neon, a successful fight. Looking to try and transition this into more kills as Arfu. A juke inside the Roche pit, but they'll find the connection to the spear. Roche is up as well, so maybe Radiant can also claim the grand prize of the extra life.
Stupid Golem is still alive, though. So much HP, man. They should be able to claim this for themselves. The important thing, of course, was getting that initial burst down, right? And the BKB coming out as a complete surprise. Will they be able to catch anyone out on this bottom side? I think they were maybe hoping for Makoto to continue to farm down here, but look at it there. Having to continuously go for these wombo combo styles. This is a second item Aghanim Scepter on Storm Spirit. Actually, he sold the point booster, going into the BKB instead. I actually prefer that.
Xiaoyu. It's got some heroes nearby, SMG. They don't have everyone as well, so they're going to be very cautious of what they force out here, but a 8-second BKB from Xiaoyu.
You're going to need to be careful as well. Like, Makoto's up here on the top side, but he doesn't have a TP for 40 seconds. So if you get dived, he's not going to immediately be able to join you. At least, again, he's pushing out the lane. He's trying to put pressure on the other side of the map so that SMG don't have the freedom to just simply walk down the lane. They're still going to do it, right? They've got the Lycan, they've got the strength of the BKB and the Desolator on the Monkey King, but...
458. I mean, they gave him the Aegis. That first life instantly getting ticked away. And now mid one's... He'll just lay it down the Wukongs and, like... There's your advantage. Completely wasted now. They're going to try and target mid one once again, but it's still got the ultimate timer, so the extra armor. Is it going to be enough here? Falling low, but Soulbind it up on the backline. Makoto still doing the dirty work. They'll target down mid one, but they used a lot in the arsenal to find the kill, and it means they're so vulnerable to a dive underneath the tier 4 tower as KP and Moon have nothing to fear with the lack of control. Makoto, it's been able to refresh the resources a decent amount, the stuns. In fact, it's going to be the silence coming into free, but they still got to be cautious. Zenuo coming into the buyback potential. So Makoto will find a triple. Moon with the TP out. Will just make it.
It's still, though, like, the net worth is closing in. The objectives are not. You know, you've taken one tier 1 tower still on Neon's side, right? So... it's just going to become harder, right? You're pushing into super creeps in 2 of your lanes where you haven't taken the tier 1 tower. So even just doing that simple task to try and open up the map... All right. What will tell you the pings that are going out now? That will tell you the state of this game. SMG have been playing so much on the Radiant side of the map that there are 4 bounty routes inside their own triangle.
Jeez. My lord. I mean, alright, it has to be said.
That's money right there.
That's a lot of money. Let's see how much the net worth. It's on 3k right now. Bro, mid one. Does he let him juice up a little bit?
Yeah,
You'd hate for Storm to pick them all up.
Nah.
Is there a cap? There's not, right?
Don't think so.
What?
They're just letting him mature, you know? And KP's like, screw that, cash in.
Instant K in a bit. Okay. Very cool,
It's
very
like
cool.
my GameStop shares, you know? You just leave them, and eventually they're going to be worth a fortune.
I could have waited to the 5th one. That they are happy with what they got. So much. I mean, it was... It has to be said, Neon, they've done a decent job at least being able to cut the lead in half. Looking for another play, though. Any items freshly picked up? Code about 2,600 gold in the bank. I think the recent one's just a basher. Troll. Moon. Lead in the charge. Xiaoyu will get the jump with a fob control if they can burst down Moon. Aeon disc. Oh man, what an item. Out to safety. Moon goes. And that is a lot forced out here. BKB from Makoto completely wasted. KP's on the outskirts. They're going to look to pivot on the back line. Now they can deal with 458, but the BKB battle trance utilized as well. But, I mean, Monkey's just got so much armor. 458, he can't go directly into mid one, so they have to deal with the back line. Makoto's going to try and do that on his lonesome self, but the instant answer is there with the control. Now they can bypass to deal with Januel. Even a buyback, man. This is a costly buyback on Makoto. They need to get more out of it, but they won't even get anything.
Yeah, I feel like that was the sort of play where you needed to go for like the miracle luck play with Pangolier. Obviously, you don't want to walk into a Wukong's command, but he just needed to try and get the disarm in onto mid one to try and save his troll warlord there. Wasn't able to do it, and the result is that they're probably going to look to close this one out right now on SMG. Why not?
I mean, it's been the Makoto show for Neon to really stay in this game, but it's too difficult of a task, it feels like, for him to keep them alive. They'll make an attempt, but that attempt is not enough, as SMG will take the first series of the day 2-0.
Oh man, this is Neon. Their laning execution just doesn't seem to be quite there for mine. That's the big issue that I'm seeing. You know, they got the first blood on the Grimstroke, sure. But beyond that, just putting themselves in super vulnerable positions and probably the farming patterns on top of things. Like a lot of it is, of course, forced out by the good play coming out from SMG. But, you know, picking this dual stun lane, the reason why you want to flex the leaner into that position 4 role, it's not easy to hit the light strike array a lot of the time, right? I highlighted a few times that Hustler was missing him a fair amount, but you've got the Mars with you. As long as you hit that spear, you've got a very easy way to dish out a ton of damage super early on. And I don't think we even saw the infused raindrops picked up by Rogi early into the game as well. So he didn't even need that extra layer of protection. So it's just a little bit of poor execution of what was actually a pretty solid draft hand.
Yeah, I think we were putting a lot of emphasis on the fact that we were favoring Neon with how they're able to play their lanes. Like, we really felt like the Mars Lena lane was going to go a lot better. The Storm matchup versus the Void Spirit on paper is great. Do you see what happens as the game goes on? Void gets a lot of control. It can be difficult for Makoto. I mean, in the end, how many times did he die? He died 5 times. Makoto went 14, 5, and 6. It just feels like, I mean, he played an exceptional game.
He could only do so much. Yeah.
Exactly right. He could really only do so much. He again played an exceptional game, but it just wasn't enough. Neon just didn't really execute their lanes to the stage they had to, and then SMG had full roam of the map. We saw their timings come into play. Mid one's Monkey King. It was something that he played incredibly well with back when he was in Europe, and now he's continuing that through also Southeast Asia. They're giving him a multiple times here, SMG. I really feel like it is one of the best position 1 heroes at the moment, and we're especially seeing why when it's in the hands of mid one. He's looking incredibly dominant. SMG are looking incredibly dominant, and that's our first series of the night now done and dusted. But I mean, we we got another day of 4 best of 2s. Next up, Galaxy Racer versus Boom. That is an incredibly hype series. Boom currently top of the table, of course, a new iteration. It's going to be exciting to see how Galaxy Racer can look to potentially take them down, who've only had 1 series so far through Pro Series 8. So we'll take a bit of a break. Our second series coming up shortly.